What's up, everyone? This is the BumCast. I am your host, HBSC, the head bum in charge, along with Dougie Fresh and the Southside Bum. Baloney, he is on the DL today, the IL injured list. So, first time in 200 and what 30 shows, 13 shows that
he had the Cal Ripken Jr. streak going on. I think for the most part, a lot of us had taken a Monday off here or there, but he's always been on all the time. So the streak is over, guys. I mean, it's done. I mean, he tried his best. Hopefully, obviously we know that, he's not feeling good and all that. So hopefully he feels better and the fam as well too. So speedy recovery for him.
Yeah, that norovirus, man. That shit ain't no joke.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist here. Does anybody else find it a little weird that Peter is all of a sudden sick after Pittsburgh lost? Did something happen in the Fonseca house that we're not sure about?
Couple busted eyes, maybe some staples in the back of the head after he got hit in the head from the back with a terrible towel. Little concussion protocol.
Yeah, just throwing it in the atmosphere.
Oh, now you're on Julie's shit list again.
Yeah.
See, don't hit me.
Dougie, shut your trap. Yeah, so guys, we had a fun weekend. It's good to see everyone back. I saw everyone Friday, and we want to thank everyone who came out Friday for our Blackhawks watch party that was at the Ramova. I had a great time. Outcome sucked. Got a little interesting there at the end, but it was a great time, like partying up, like winter time. We don't see a lot of people from the park a lot during the winter time, but it was great to have our first event at the Ramova, and I think it was a great success. Had over 100 people there in Gates, so I'm just happy, with the turnout and no Ramova is, and good times Friday night.
Hell yeah, that was actually my first time actually being in there. That place is pretty cool, man. Road Dogg was taking me around the backstage area and stuff like that, and man, I'm really hoping that they get some pretty decent concerts in there and stuff like that. I'd love to see a show there.
Yeah, it's obviously, if you grew up in the neighborhood, it's a iconic place. They used to have it was a movie theater, back in the day. They used to have like a whole bunch of movies. My dad used to, watch movies over there. But now, I'm glad that they do have it as a concert venue or event or larger events. I think it will bring a lot of attention over to the Bridgeport area or South Side, where, you're always going to the Aragon, you're always going to the Congress or all these places on the North Side. We need something on the South Side. We need a venue on our side. We deserve that to have rock concerts or hip hop or whatever. I just think that it's it's just might take a little bit, but I know that the people who are working at the Ramova are getting a lot of these events going into 2025. So it's exciting times for them.
Yeah, and obviously, a thank you to Chris and the team at the Ramova and all the staff who took care of everyone. And I got to thank, Dougie and Joey and Colonel Bourbon, who donated the tickets for our giveaway. So that was great that we were able to give away 3 sets of tickets for people. Usually we maybe have like a ticket or a jersey, but we had three games to give away, which was awesome. So thank you, Dougie, I know you can't go to that game, so.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's what it's all about, man. So, and it was cool. It's a lot of new faces won those tickets too. So it was good to meet a ton of new people and everything like that. And I gotta say, I don't know, like my first time seeing that TV screen, I started sizing up my wall at home because I'm like, I need something. I need something.
20-foot video board sold you, huh?
Dude. Oh my God. When you're walking past the players on the ice and they're almost life size, it's pretty cool.
I will say there was a little couple before you go here, little things that did not go well. Obviously the game itself, the Blackhawks got killed. And then also after the game, decided to put on the Ohio State game, Ohio State versus Texas, and Ohio State won. And I can't stand them. So I won't be here next week. I just kind of like a preview here. I won't be next week. I'm watching that Notre Dame Ohio State game. Go Irish. I know a lot of people are either they don't like them or whatever. I don't care. I do. I grew up in watching those guys, so I'm going for the Irish next Monday, and I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be watching the game, hopefully seeing them lift up that national trophy.
Mike dad used to have a saying that Notre Dame was his second favorite team, that everyone else was number one.
Of course.
Yeah, but we did have one little hiccup at the watch party. We were supposed to have Gene Honda in the house, and the snow delayed him. So we did mention that we had some Blackhawks people going to be in the house, and it was supposed to be him, but fortunately the weather got the best of him, and so hopefully if we do our Blackhawks watch party, we'll get him back. Maybe get Tommy Hawk or something next time to come through. But yeah, we'll be back at the Ramova pretty soon. I think we're going to be running it back in the next couple 2-3 weeks.
Keep your eyes peeled.
So, keep your eyes peeled for that. So then one more quick announcement from the Blackhawks watch party that came out. We dropped these bad boys that weekend. So Friday was the first time you were able to purchase these. These are our new Blackhawks themed Chicago Sports Bums hats. Courtesy of our friend Jose. Yeah, Dougie, you're wearing it right now. But the official launch was Friday, and if you weren't able at the watch party, you still want to snag one of those bad boys. $25, and you can zell us. We have a Chicago Sports Bums at gmail.com. It's pinned in our Twitter page. So just make sure if you want one, we'll send it out. We can ship it as well for an extra $7, but if you want one, we got plenty to give. We got plenty to sell. So,
absolutely, go ahead and head over there, buy that sucker. It's only going to plump up that opening day tailgate and the rest of the tailgates that we're trying to fund. So you get the hat, and then it's kind of like a forced savings because all that money is going to go back into the tailgates. So
absolutely,
go buy that hat.
All of the proceeds, they keep our tailgates free, and they help provide the food and the beer for everyone who shows up. And we're gearing up for a big 2025 is going to be a big year for the Whiskey at Comiskey tailgate. So we're gearing up pretty much, and I think we got to go bigger than we did last year. So gotta get the old gears turning and see how we can do better than last year. So
we got to give something to the Sox fans going into the stadium before they go in the stadium, because obviously we're putting a great lineup on so far. So I'm excited. I'm just kidding. I'm really excited into the season. I'm a baseball fan. I love the Sox. So even if they're gonna win 50 wins, 51,
maybe. All right, so we're gonna in a few minutes we're gonna be talking Bears with our special guest Rob Schwartz Jr. He's our resident Bears expert. He's joined us numerous times, so we're gonna be talking some coaching and some salary caps and roster and all that good stuff. But before that, our last week we previewed our bracket reveal for our 2024 Tournament of Bums, and we had our first round this week. Round 2 is going to begin tomorrow, but we had to update everyone on the results because we had some shockers. We had some shockers for this. So first off, on my read, oops, I hit the wrong button. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. All right. So no, not a shocker, but number 1 seed Cancer easily defeated Greg Gabriel, even though he was back on his bullshit all weekend. So he might have to make another entry into the 2025 tournament, because that dude is just an angry little fuck.
Yeah.
Coming and being condescending to Herb Lawrence. What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Yeah.
Upset alert. Streaming service price hikes beat out Velus Jones Jr. That was a close one. But people don't like the price hikes, even though Velus gave us a lot of misery and heartbreak, especially me, because I would went on many an angry rant when he was on the field.
Yeah, when I was looking at this one, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, that is kind of an upset. But then I was starting to think, like, the Netflix thing is kind of like more fresh, or not Netflix, but YouTube TV, like that thing's a little bit more fresh in people's memories. They have already forgotten about Velus Jones Jr. and probably will never hear from him again. So I think that's what it was. It was just a matter of timing.
Yeah. First real big upset was number 12 seed Julie DeCaro upsetting number 5 Roger Goodell. I thought Goodell was going to go pretty farther with that, but Julie's still bringing the animosity against the people. So another shocking upset there.
Yeah, that was a shocker.
Number 4 seed Mosquitoes easily beats I-65 Corridor. Number 3 CHSN easily defeated the D Wade statue. Number 6 seed White Sox Pettiness beat number 11 United Center. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a good matchup. White Sox versus CHSN.
Yeah,
can't wait to see what that one might be another upset too. Number 7 seed Ticketmaster beat number 10 seed Joe Cowley, and probably the biggest upset so far of the tournament, huge. Number 15 seed TikTok Pranksters edged out a victory over Chris Getz. Like, wow! I thought anything negative Sox was gonna go make a run, but TikTok Pranksters, people don't like them.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's just because like they're going from extreme to extreme, and people are getting hurt now and everything like that. And I think people are just over that shit.
Yeah, but you spray food with bug spray.
Yeah,
what the fuck is wrong with you guys, man? So my region will my round 2 will be starting tomorrow with my 4 matchups. So then we'll go over to the Southside Bum region. Shocking number 16 seed Cam Newton over the Costco guys. And Peter called this one. He said that you might have an upset here because the Costco guys are pretty much loved by a bunch of people on the interwebs.
You know what? I had Alexis text me when she saw this, and she was like, the Costco guys, like, why did you put them on there? I'm like, I don't like them. I told you what I felt, that the Rizzler was that whole thing. It's not the Costco guys. They do the same thing over and over again. The Rizzler is the top-notch person in that whole bit content that they have over there. But there's a lot of people that don't like Cam Newton either. So, I mean, are we shocked? It's kind of like the Washington versus Tampa Bay game. Were you shocked that the Washington won, So yeah, I mean, he moves on.
Number 9 seed Winter Flu upset number 8 seed Party City in a close matchup. Not surprising. Norovirus going around. Everyone's getting sick now, so that's I think that one might be making a run.
Yeah, that's relevant.
Number 5 seed Brett Favre and Mark Gastineau beat number 12 NBA. Number 13 seed SeatGeek beat upset number 4 seed Kenny Smith. Johnny, you want to give us a recap of why you put SeatGeek in there?
You know what? I had it somewhere over here because this was a long time ago when I put that on there. I think it had something to do with their the way that they were handling a lot of the ticket sales with some of the concerts from last year. They were having a little bit of issues on that. Like I said, I'm sorry, guys. I did have notes for that. I can't find it. So
that's fine.
That was a long time ago.
I think it was. Wasn't it Riot Fest? Them bumping the women's soccer.
Yes, it actually was. Yes, thank you, Dougie.
Yeah.
Yes, it did have to do with that.
Number 3 seed Raygun easily defeated number 14 seed Lucas Oil Stadium. That was a personal one for us. Yeah. Raygun was worldwide, man, so not surprised that she easily defeated that. Number 6 seed Dan Hurley beat number 11 seed MLB Hall of Fame. That was a one it was personal for Johnny because he was talking shit about the Illini fans. Number 10 seed Hurricanes defeated number 7 Ed Cooley. I think Hurricanes going to go on a run here too.
Mm-hmm.
Might come out of the might see some Hurricanes versus Raygun here next round. And number 15 seed Nick Saban upsets number 2 seed Deion Sanders. So Johnny's 1 and 2 seeds are officially out of the tournament. But Nick Saban hold it out.
This is turning out to feel like a real March Madness college tournament. Like in the past couple of years, a lot of the number 1, number 2 seeds fall out of the first or second round. So, you know, I thought the Costco guys were going to go a little bit far, but I guess there's a lot of fans out there that love that boom. It is what it is.
Mailman Jack says 5 booms is a free pass to heaven. Just saying.
I don't know about that.
So, Johnny, your second round matchups that will be tomorrow as well. So it'll be me and Johnny's second round matchups tomorrow. Then heading over next to the Bologna region, number 1 seed Drake easily defeated number 16 seed John Stamos. I don't think you're going to get a lot of girls voting, bumming John Stamos on that one. That one seemed like a pretty easy round for Drake.
Yeah.
Number 8 seed ComEd defeated number 9 seed Jay Cutler. Yeah, we said that because they fired their longtime employee who went viral.
Yeah.
Number 5 seed John Fisher beats number 12 the Royal Family. Yeah, John Fisher, bad Oakland A's owner. So he moves on easily. No shock here. Number 4 seed Brandon Johnson destroyed number 13 seed I-55 Traffic. Another dark horse. I think we might get Brandon Johnson versus Drake in a quarterfinal.
Yeah, that'll be a doozy.
Yeah. Number 3 seed Elon Musk easily defeated number 14 seed Billy Corgan. Number 6 seed Brandon Spano from CHGO defeated number 11 Daylight Savings, and I was surprised. I thought that was going to be an upset right there. I thought people were going to bump Daylight Savings time.
Yeah, that bad boy was that one was pretty tight, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because one of the ones in Bologna's region went 50-50, right? And it came down to the wire.
Cicadas in White Sox subreddit.
Okay.
Which Cicadas did pull out the upset victory again over White Sox subreddit. White Sox subreddit is just a cesspool of people, but Cicadas, they came out in force this year and not
and with the votes.
Yeah. Destroyed my tree. I got a dead tree in the backyard now.
That's fucked.
Yeah. And number 2 seed Jerry Reinsdorf easily defeated number 15 seed Chicago Fire Soccer. No shocker there. I think Jerry versus Elon Musk, I think, is coming down to it. And that's gonna be a big heavyweight battle right there. The 2 versus 3 seed. Yeah. But Peter's got his top 5 all still in. Peter's got straight chalk going right now, man. So
yeah, especially since that like you were saying, it's going to probably come down to Jerry versus Elon, like on that one side, and we're getting closer and closer to the inauguration, so Elon's going to pump it up. So he might put Jerry out of this thing.
He might. All right, and then so. The Bologna region, that'll start on Wednesday for his round 2 matchups. All right, and then we move over finally to the Dougie Fresh region, which Dougie, we got to talk about you. You were on the show last week, so you said we're going to have you defend this one, but number 1 Animal Abusers beat number 16 seed Drunk Driver, but that one had a lot of controversy. People were pretty pissed that those were up against each other.
Yeah, I mean, hand up. So I made my bracket like as soon as you sent everything, but I didn't send it. And then I started seeing all the text messages roll in from you guys, and you started throwing all your brackets in. And then I was like an hour later, and I was like, well, I'm like, it's just going to look bad if I like power rank stuff. So I had all this stuff power ranked, and there's a bunch of stuff that I had as well. Like, as I don't know if you guys discussed or not, I lost someone to cancer too. Cancer was also my number 1, but I wasn't going to battle you on that because you know what? It's not something that I feel like needs to be battled, so I just kind of let that go.
We'll co-chair that one.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make Animal Abusers my 1-1. And then I had a few other things, and Drunk Drivers just ended up like getting in like by hook or crook how it filled in. So, it wasn't meant that way, but yeah, that was a doozy of a first round matchup.
Yeah. All right, so moving on. Number 8 seed Cubs fans defeats number 9 Sox Game Day Ops. Yeah, I mean, obviously, when we're White Sox Twitter, you're going to have a lot of people voting against Cubs fans. So
it's mainly the people that don't like Praz.
Yeah. Number 5 seed Aaron Rodgers moves on after being number 12 Summer Colds, and I thought Summer Colds might make a run, but I was wrong on that one. So Aaron Rodgers, belovedly hated, and he got the Gas Money Bob endorsement too. So
that always holds weight.
Yeah. Number 4, Chicago head coaches against number 13, Mother Nature. Easily destroyed Mother Nature. That one is going to be another great matchup. Aaron Rodgers versus Chicago head coaches. Who do you hate more? That's a very interesting matchup for round 2.
Yeah, that's a doozy.
Number 3 seed Bleacher Jeff defeated number 14 seed TSA. Number 6, Kevin Warren's 18-hour workday defeated number 11 seed Southwest Airlines, and I think Kevin Warren might upset Bleacher Jeff here. I think Bleacher Jeff's run's coming to an end.
Yeah, this one made me happy that, like, you know, I feel like it's going to make a good run.
Yep. Number 10 seed Kanye West defeat number 7 seed New Yorkers.
This was one that I thought could go either way, but apparently everybody hates Kanye West a lot more than that. I think people are just sick of New Yorkers, but I guess more sick of Kanye.
Yeah, you got that Chicago vote, like where they were gonna have the New Yorkers, over there. But
right. You're not gonna. We're gonna hate them more.
Yeah.
And finally, number 2, political ads. I was surprised how lopsided this poll was, because I thought Work was honestly going to either keep it close or do an upset, because I voted Work. Political ads, as much as they suck, they come around every 2 years, 4 years, where they're just super annoying. But I go to work every day.
Yeah, right.
So I do a lot more work than I see a lot more political ads. So for me, number 15, voting for the Work easily was an easy choice for me. But election just ended, still fresh in people's minds. I could see why political ads, to just easily beat Work on that one.
Yeah, it was lopsided.
Yeah. All right. So, Dougie's, your region will go on Wednesday as well with Peters. So, second round matchups are coming your way very soon. And thanks to everyone who voted. Make sure you keep on voting throughout the week. We'll be doing the round 2 and the quarterfinals this week. And then next week, we're going to bring you the semis and the final 4 and all that, the championships. So we're going to keep it rolling here. But that's our tournament of bums for 2024. And we're going to get some Bears talk with our special guest here in a second, but we got to pay some quick bills. So we'll be back. The original Chickies Beef and Chickies Banquet is a proud sponsor of the BumCast. Are you trying to find a venue for a meeting or party? Allow Chickies to provide you with the at-home atmosphere without all the hassles and cleanup associated with hosting at your house. Chickies provides a blank slate for you and your party planner to work with. Customized menus are available upon request. Banquet Hall is located right next to Chickies Beef on Roosevelt Road in Hillside. They can host all types of events, including birthdays, showers, and even wedding receptions. Best of all, there is no rental fee. So call Brittany to plan your next event at 630-400-2876 and tell them the bum sent you. All right, we're back, and we got our special guest, Rob Schwartz Jr. from the Hallis Huddle Podcast. Rob, welcome back to the BumCast. Happy to have you on short notice.
Yeah, I apologize about the difficulties with the microphone. I am using my backup, so let me know if it's like too loud, too quiet.
Yeah, a little quiet, but just we'll make it work.
Sounds good.
So, yeah, we originally were going to do a funny bit. We're going to save for next week. I'll tease that later. But we wanted to make, since Peter's out, we had to bring Rob in. So we wanted to just let's get down to some Bears news here, because there's a lot to talk about this week, especially stuff that came out today. But we're going to start with the coaching, the casting the net, all the interviews, the insane amount of interviews here. So I'm going to pull up the first one here. So this is the first 6, and there's a whole other slide here, so don't think I missed people here. But obviously, we had our first round of interviews this week. Obviously, the big 2 names, Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel, and then we had Pete Carroll, which, and Kafka, Petzing, Anthony Weaver. Obviously, Vrabel already signed with New England. But the big one, the big fish, the big news was Ben Johnson. So, Rob, I want to start with you. What do you think for Bears' odds of actually getting Ben Johnson?
I still think it's pretty good. I don't think he's going to go to Jacksonville. It doesn't really seem like that's going to be the right fit for him. There's reports out already that that he has no issues working with Ryan Poles. But my concern is that Tom Brady factor, right? In Vegas, if he, they obviously interviewed Vrabel also. I think it was the worst kept secret that he was going to New England. The way that they handled the Rooney Rule just kind of pretty much made it obvious that they were going to bring him in right away. But I don't know. I probably still give it a 50% chance right now on it happening. If we're going to do betting odds, I'd still say that they're probably the favorite. But I have my doubts just because of George McCaskey.
That's fair.
Yeah, they have this thing where they fuck up every year. And it seems like they do this all the time with the coaches. We're always trying to get the Bruce Arenases, or we're trying to get anybody else that was going to be the hot commodity, and we always just screw it up. I'm hoping this time around, optimistic, we're going to get Ben Johnson. But, Rob, I'm kind of like you too with the 50-50, because it's just like, it's the Bears. It's the organization who keeps on shooting themselves in the foot all the time. And it's just, I'm just to a point where I feel like I'm expecting the worst here. Like I'm just like, just announce Mike Ditka being the coach, or whoever the fuck they're, want to interview. I saw they want to interview the offensive coordinator for the Packers. They just keep on interviewing people. So, I don't know. I mean, I think consensus, everybody wants Ben Johnson, but I don't know. I'm just waiting for that screw up for some reason.
Yeah,
I have a ranking out there at Bear Goggles On that I put out last week before some of these names were added, and I had Mike McCarthy on there, even though Dallas had basically said no, that they're not going to let the Bears interview him. But my hope was that he would actually hit. Not get an extension and be a possible candidate. And I know that sounds horrible to a lot of Bears fans out there, but he actually is currently in my top 3 now that Mike Vrabel is gone. It's an interesting situation because you're seeing a lot of guys interviewed. I haven't even kept track. I know originally it was 16, but that included Vance Joseph, who technically wasn't given a formal interview request at this point. I was hoping that Liam Cohen would be brought back for an interview at some point. I'm going to assume they're probably around 20 right now. I haven't kept track over the last day or two. I did see the offensive coordinator from Green Bay added to that list, who obviously doesn't call plays. We've been down this, path before. My best guess, though, is that he was a name that was probably mentioned during an interview that possibly could be some type of staff member under somebody else. Not sure why he would want to make a lateral move, because I don't see him being anything more than an offensive coordinator. But money talks. Maybe he gets paid more. Maybe he gets an assistant head coach position. And I know you laugh because the McCaskies don't pay, but that's my issue with the Ben Johnson situation. Is you got the McCaskies who used to fly everyone coach, right? The rumor was Dan Quinn sat in the middle seat on an airplane to come interview here, and it's like, guys, what are you doing? You got to fly these guys at least first class if you're not going to foot the bill for a private jet. But I don't know. It's just a really tough situation. My biggest concern is, and I don't have an issue that they're interviewing all these people. The Chargers did it before they ended up hiring Jim Harbaugh. I know he kind of shit the bed this weekend, but I still would love him here in Chicago. I think a lot of other people would as well. My fear with the Ben Johnson situation, or any coach that they're coveting type situation, is that George McCaskey has this arrogance to him for a guy who hasn't really achieved anything in his position as chairman. And I like the guy. He's a great guy, right? He seems like the type of guy that you would love to hang out with out on the street, as long as you're not cursing. Seems very friendly. Seems like he's very, willing to give you the shirt off his back type of guy, as long as it doesn't, it's a Costco shirt and not some $150 shirt.
I was just going to say, I don't think anybody on this podcast would want to wear his clothes.
No, I wouldn't either. But just saying, he does seem like a genuine fan, which he said, right, and a guy. But my issue is the arrogance of this organization continues, where they just think that, well, it's the Chicago Bears. It's a historic franchise. Anyone and everyone wants to be here. It doesn't matter what the situation is. I'm not going to change my ways. He said it a little bit in his press conference when he was asked about the hierarchy and if a coach is going to have an issue with not being able to go above.
Dude, I almost put my fist through the wall when he said that.
I don't, again, and that's where the arrogance I feel like comes from. And I know he doesn't like the media that much, but you got to do something different. And maybe they are here with Kevin Warren, but it's a really frustrating situation. And I'm just hoping that they don't end up, you got Mike Kafka on there. Like, Mike Kafka is pretty far down my list. I'm really hoping it doesn't end up being somebody like that. Drew Petzing actually isn't a guy that I have too far down. He's in my 4th tier, I believe. But yeah, I mean, there's just so many better names out there. And you guys laughed at Pete Carroll, but I'd rather have Pete Carroll than any of the other guys on this board besides Ben Johnson. So
my only concern with Pete Carroll, is his age. Right. I mean, I don't want an older coach who's gonna only be here for 4 or 5 years and then be like, all right, I'm done. We got to do this shit all over again. Right. When Caleb needs to get paid, I want the young coach. I want the guy who's going to be here for, 10, 15 years, hopefully a lifetime, because he's so good we can't fire him. But nothing against Pete Carroll, but yeah, he's old.
Ageism at its finest.
Yeah, it also sounds like he dropped the ball on his interview today. I guess supposedly, like, some of the OC and DCs that he was talking about, I guess they weren't really a fan of. So it sounds like he's not even an option at this point. But yes, I agree with you, HBIC. I don't want to see them hire somebody that maybe might be here for 4 years. I would love to see them do like a, say, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick type thing where, Caleb grows, he grows, and we go. But obviously Belichick was more, established. But I just was going to ask you guys, do you guys ever remember, like, in a Bears history, them interviewing this many people for a head coach? This is unbelievable.
I don't think any NFL team has interviewed this many people. I mean, this is what was the list up to? Like 15 or 20 or?
Yeah, so they've done. Here's the second part. The interviews they completed with. These are other 3. Defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn from Detroit, Thomas Brown, obviously, and then Ron Rivera for some odd fucking reason, which I don't get for any other reason that because he's a friend of the family or some shit, and he's getting a special treatment, especially because he got the interview in person too when everyone else was virtual. Like what does that say to like everyone else in here that Ron Rivera who gets a fucking in-person interview and everyone else gets, I don't know. It seems like just more Bears. Just buffoonery.
Well, that's what they are.
They're
not uniformed.
I'll give a little bit of credit to the Bears if he ends up being a DC candidate, right? I don't know where Ben Johnson is when it comes to his staff that he's going to be able to put together, but I wouldn't hate Ron Rivera as the defensive coordinator. So if they're going to try to like pair him with one of these other coaches that doesn't have a top defensive coordinator that's available, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I did have an issue with the in-person interview. I know, look, I get, and I said this to other people on social media, like it hits 1 out of your 2 Rooney rules. You get that out of the way right away because he's considered a minority. You have to do that in person. It can't be virtual, so that makes sense. But my thing was, look, you got Aaron Glenn on the board. You got Anthony Weaver on the board. There's, enough guys there that I thought would be getting high enough in their interview process virtually that they would see a second interview. I didn't think they needed to bring Rivera in just to meet the Rooney rule. That said, are they really high on Johnson? And this is their way of just getting one in the door right away. And they are going to hit hard, push hard. That would be the only way that it makes me happy and understandable are those 2 things. 1, you hit the Rooney rule a little bit earlier. 2, he's your potential defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a lot of people would hate that. Even Yumps in the comments, I'm what choice but take as a DC. I mean, I wouldn't hate it if he was the defensive coordinator, but maybe Ben Johnson has someone else in mind. My only thing going back to the Ben Johnson thing was the Raiders kind of scare me now with the fact that they fired, they cleaned house, they got rid of GM Antonio Pierce, like now Ben Johnson can come and be like, oh yeah, well, I want to work with this GM. Obviously, they don't have a quarterback. That's the biggest thing. They're going to probably have to draft one, and then that could be a crapshoot. So quarterback-wise, Bears are more appealing. Structure-wise, it seems. I mean, obviously, you still got Doofus in charge over in LA. Mark Davis, but it seems with Brady there, it seems a little more appealing structure-wise in LA or out Las Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, if he's going to push to get like their assistant general manager Ray Agnew in there, that could be a potential pairing for those two if they're going to try to go long term. As you mentioned, though, the quarterback situation is nowhere near the situation. Even if you're going to include the Jaguars in there, right? You throw the Jaguars in there, you got Chicago. Like I would much rather have either Trevor Lawrence or Caleb Williams over whatever they end up with there in Las Vegas. I don't recall off the top of my head where they're picking, but I mean, obviously they're going to have a chance at one of the top quarterbacks in this upcoming draft. But they have a lot of other holes too. So, I mean, outside of Max Crosby, is there anyone there and Bowers? But like, is there anyone else there that you're like super in love with? Not really.
No, Devontae's gone. They have no running back situation. Like their defense is
their top receiver now. Like, I don't know. There's too many holes there, but you still have, here's the thing. Ben Johnson went through this though. He was here or there, not here. He was up there in Detroit while they were rebuilding. He was a part of that team when they only won 2 games, and they still kept Dan Campbell around. So he's been there when they're, at the bottom, and he's helped build that team up to what it is now. I will say that the Raiders' offensive line is probably a little bit better than Chicago's. Unless they can find some way to build up that interior of the offensive line. I haven't said it yet, but I will throw out Todd Monken is my number 2 on my board now that Vrabel's off. So I wouldn't mind him either, but I'm worried that you might think he's too old also.
80 years old. That's because, isn't Pete Carroll like 80?
I think he's like 76, 76, but he's a spry 70. I mean, he runs around.
Yeah, he's
in his 40s.
I think I saw him lifting 100 on
73. Sorry, he's 73.
Okay,
73.
The one, actually, with this whole carousel and the whole Mike McCarthy thing, kind of popping out as well too, is that when I heard that the Cowboys let him go, I'm just like, oh fuck, now we're gonna have to probably deal with the Cowboys, and here we go. And I don't know if you guys saw the pregame show before this Rams Vikings game, but Troy Aikman basically said this is not a covenant. The Cowboys are not a covenant place to go. Like he doesn't feel like it's not a place where it's going to be like a coach's dream to go in there. So I thought that was kind of interesting that Troy Aikman said that it was, 3-time Super Bowl champion at the Cowboys. But I mean, he's, kind of spitting truth over here is that the Cowboys team is not like, I know you have all your Cowboys fans and stuff like that, America's team and all that, whatever. I just feel like that's just way past its time anymore. It's not America's team anymore. It's not the Cowboys like how they used to be back in the day. So I do agree with Troy Aikman on that part. So I was a little worried when they said, "Oh, Mike McCarthy is going to be out." Would the Cowboys be another landing spot for one of these top coaching spots? But now I'm hearing Deion Sanders' name kind of thrown around and all that. I'm like, well, that would be a Jerry Jones thing to do. So I don't know. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are really thrilled about the whole owner GM thing. That's you're answering to one person, and it's like if you don't like that one person, you're kind of SOL.
Yeah. So let's talk about what the news that happened today. Mark McCarthy got his contract not renewed by Dallas. Immediately put Bears fans in a panic, and rightfully so, I think, for a lot of reasons. But how realistic is it that the Bears are going to Bears themselves now and fall in love with Mike McCarthy instead of Ben Johnson?
Oh, it's very realistic. It's very realistic because you have, like I said, you have George McCaskey putting his hands in things. We watched him. I think everyone here is old enough. Maybe not you, Doug. I don't know how old you are, but I'm old enough to remember him in Green Bay, right? He was there for quite some time. The whole thing was, it was that, McCarthy was holding them back. McCarthy's holding them back. They never get past, the NFC Championship game. Well, they seem to have the same issues no matter who is coach or who is at quarterback. But he does have more playoff wins than Mike Tomlin. His record is pretty much even with Mike Tomlin. And if you ask most Bears fans, I think a lot of people would like Mike Tomlin. The difference here is, and I'm one of them. I do like Mike Tomlin, but the big difference here is the way that they present themselves at the podium, right? Mike Tomlin, and this is one of the reasons why I think Thomas Brown was very well liked, is the way that he speaks at the podium. Very similar to Tomlin. On the house huddle, we called him, Justin actually called him Mini Tomlin, and we kind of kept going with that because he seemed to be very similar, the way he spoke, very direct, didn't hold back on what he was talking about, didn't mind telling you that there was people that needed to, fix their shit. So McCarthy's just kind of quiet. He's just kind of vanilla, boring, and I think that's partly why people don't like him. But if he was to come in here and turn this team into a Pittsburgh Steelers organization, is anyone going to complain about that? I don't think they would.
Yeah. I think the one thing with Tomlin and even Brown or whatever, like you guys were saying, when you have somebody that speaks the truth like that at the podium, when they talk about the positives, you kind of start to believe that a little bit more because they do highlight those negatives and they do tell you the shit that you need to hear. Now, when you get these coaches that just kind of pussyfooting around and, don't say this, don't say that, then you're almost too positive. So I think the weight of the way, a coach holds himself in a press conference is absolutely key.
Do you think another thing too, like obviously the Bears have interviewed 50 people here, but do you think like they still kind of wait a little bit to see how the playoffs, like if somebody else might come around, and like we were talking about Mike Tomlin, obviously he's not fired yet, but a lot of people are saying like it's time for a change. Obviously we have a big Steelers fan in the comments, Julie, but I've been hearing that from a lot of other Steelers fans as well too. So I'm wondering if they also like kind of hold out a little bit about some of them that they haven't interviewed, then maybe it might pop up later on like a Mike Tomlin.
It's possible. At this point, I would hope that they have their minds somewhat made up. I think they're doing a lot of fact finding. I think they're doing a lot of trying to figure out who would be considered potential staff for other coaches that they're heavily considering. Thinking about who might still be there in the playoffs. Like I said, Todd Monken is still in there, right? You still got Joe Brady, who they are, they did put a formal request out for. I'll be honest, Brady scares me. He doesn't. I've seen too many offensive coordinators come out of Buffalo and fail. I was pounding the table for Brian Dable, and if you asked me today if that was a good decision, obviously it wasn't. He was put in a tough situation there with the Giants, but he clearly wasn't doing what he needed to do up in New York. And hearing him, honestly, too, in the Hard Knocks first draft or off-season draft episodes. I wasn't thrilled with some of like his decision making, but yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a really tough situation. There's still a lot of people available. You can't really do any hiring until January 20th. So, or in-person interviews until January 20th. So it's going to be a really interesting situation. I just, my fingers are crossed because my tier one by far is Ben Johnson. I think it's everybody's, I shouldn't say everybody's, but most everybody's want is Ben Johnson. And anyone who thinks, sorry, Adam Rank, I love you, but anyone who thinks that Ben Johnson is basically Matt Nagy 2.0, I'm sorry, it is not even close. He has built, with the GM up there, Brad Holmes, he has built that offense to what he wanted. He has called all of the plays. He has created the playbook. It is not like somebody who's just, pointing to, it's not like the Madden, you have that option of like the Madden, what do they call it? Recommendations or whatever. And I never use it because I always just go to formations and pick my own plays. But it's basically like that. He just picks 1 out of 3 plays, Matt Nagy, and then just rolls with it because it's the Andy Reid system.
Yeah, my biggest thing about like going back to McCarthy is that obviously so much has been said about the way he handles game clock, game management, timeouts, all that shit. But Green Bay, now Dallas, yes, he won a lot of games, but he was like Herb Lawrence said this pretty well earlier today on Twitter that he was gifted 2 really good generational quarterbacks, and he got 1 Super Bowl out of them. He got a bunch of wins. But you have Aaron Rodgers, his prime, and you have Dak Prescott and all the weapons that Dallas had around him, and to only get one Super Bowl out of that, like it just seems like, do I want a Super Bowl? Yes. Do I want something do I want more than one? Yeah. So like, I don't want to just have like one Super Bowl and then be like, well, Caleb just got one, and that we should be happy with that. I want more. I want a coach who's going to get more. That's why I have so much optimism for what Ben Johnson can bring, because you see that Detroit offense just can't be stopped, and even when they have injuries and everything, you're just scoring at will. Dave Montgomery goes down, and Gibbs just picks up the slack for everyone, and he's pumping out 3-4 touchdowns a game. Like it's insane. So you see that, and you see like, yeah, Bears have some weapons. You fix the offensive line, you plug some holes. Maybe we can get to that. And I feel like that's the yellow brick road, right?
I gotta say, I would be good with one Super Bowl. Till we got that Super Bowl, then I'll want more. But until then, I am okay with just the one Super Bowl. Let's get that first one, and then we can be greedy.
I have a question for you guys. We're talking about Ben Johnson. This is like our top tier. We want him, offensive mind guru and all that. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but what about if he shits the bed against Washington? What about that? Does that change your mind on him if that were to happen in the playoffs? Because you want somebody, because like obviously he was there last year, and obviously they lost the NFC Championship game, so he does have that playoff experience. But I'm not saying it's going to happen, but weird things happen in the NFL. Do you have your mind change if he does shit the bed and it's a bad offensive play calling come to that game?
He just wants to get out of there and go work with the Bears. Once you get that line,
that makes even more sense, Jason.
So I'll answer that real quick, but I'm also going to use it to segue into what Jason said. So it wouldn't bother me one bit. I mean, it would be very shocking if he completely shits the bed to the point where we're like, what kind of decision making is going on right here? Like that would be very surprising to me. I don't foresee that happening, and I pray to whoever I pray to, whoever you pray to, I hope they win. As bad as that sounds, as a Bears fan, I'd rather see Detroit go than Washington. I'd rather see Detroit go than a lot of teams that are still available. Although I do kind of like Philadelphia at this point. They're my brother-in-law's favorite team, and my son's favorite team, so I cheer for them just because I have no one else to cheer for. And the team that I wanted to go far was Tampa, and they just got eliminated by Washington, so screw them. But going back to Jason, the way that you were, describing it, what one Super Bowl would you rather have? Somebody who's young, somebody who can come in and kind of spark it. And look, I love Herb. I love Herb Lawrence. The fact that he's no longer a CHGO pisses me off. Probably more than anyone else who was let go over there. And when I look at that comment, my thing is, well, it's very hard to win a Super Bowl in the NFL. I think anyone here would think, well, Kyle Shanahan's probably one of the best coaches in the NFL. Sean McVay, one of the best coaches in the NFL. I mean, how many Super Bowls do they have combined, right? Mm-hmm. When you have teams like the Kansas City Chiefs with Andy Reid consistently winning Super Bowls, now we're going back to when the Patriots were in the Super Bowl, every year, every other year, it felt like. It's very difficult to become a consistent Super Bowl winning coach. For me, I want a consistent Super Bowl contending team. And if I can get that out of the Chicago Bears for the rest of my life with one Super Bowl win in there, hey, I'm going to be happy because that's way better than what I've lived in my lifetime.
Yeah, I guess I do need to see one when I'm not 3 years old. So,
yeah, I was born in '83. So what was I, 2?
Yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap up the coaching talk real quick because I do want to. While we still have you here for a little bit more, Rob, I wanted to just talk about some Bears, like the salary cap right now. Going into 2025, they're projected about $74 million. So it looks like that's according to Sport Track. It's Spot Track, whatever the fucking name of the site is. 6th in NFL. So obviously we're going to have a lot of money to spend. We got to fix the offensive line. That's the biggest concern, obviously the defensive line as well. but I wanted to get your take because there is, like going to be a lot of turnover, I think, this year. And I think besides maybe Darnell Wright, you're going to be looking for maybe 3. I don't know if they're going to keep, Braxton Jones. I'll let you talk about that. But let's talk about the offensive line first. Like, who do you think is going to be, like, not brought back? Obviously, Tevin Jenkins, free agent. Who's going to be cut? Who's not going to be brought back on the line? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so Coleman Shelton's going to be a free agent. The fact that his contract is up, I don't see them bringing him back. That said, the free agency class for centers isn't all that great. Ryan Kelly out of Indianapolis, if he becomes available, would be a top guy, but he's one of the older guys. I think he's 31, 32. Drew Dalman would be an interesting option if they could get him. I think he's 28, 27. So there's not a lot of options there, right? So, I mean, Coleman Shelton, I'll be honest, wasn't completely awful this year. They've hardly had any snapping issues, which was a big step up over the last, 2-3 years that they had a rotation there at center. He's just a slightly below average center, and that needs to be upgraded. Let me tell you, it needs to be upgraded. The thing is are you going to be able to do everything in 1 year? No, and that's where why Ryan Poles was on the hot seat for most people, because there's so much turnover that needs to happen on that offensive line. Darnell Wright is the only legit guy that you can hang your hat on week after week after week. That said, Braxton Jones, when healthy, is a above average left tackle. I don't think they're going to be able to replace him. He'll be on his final year of his rookie deal this year, so they're not going to cut him. And you're going to have to replace Tevin Jenkins. He's not coming back. And unless he's willing to take a really low, maybe they let him go shop, and if no one wants him because of his injury history, he might come back, but I doubt it. So you have to replace your left guard, your center potentially, and your right guard. Nate Davis clearly didn't work out here. That was a shit show. You gotta find you have to find 2 guards that are starting worthy. Trey Smith, if you can throw all that money at him, if somehow the Chiefs don't finagle their salary cap in order to bring him back, would be my top target, obviously. There are a few other guys, but he's definitely at the top of the board. But if you can you're going to have to find 2 guards and a center between free agency and the draft. And I'll be honest, I'm very early in my draft process right now, but there aren't a lot of centers that I absolutely love.
So obviously, talking free agency is with that. Ryan Bates, is he coming back as a backup guy? Because he's, on the last year of his deal now. So, I
mean, Ryan Poles loves him, so I expect him to be on the roster.
Okay, because he has no dead cap, so you could cut him and save $4 million. But obviously, he would just be a purely death piece at this point.
If it was up to me, I'm bringing back Bill Murray, Caddyshack, and using him over Ryan Bates. Ryan Bates might retire. I mean, the guy thought about it before. He just can't stay healthy. He's, you talk about health. Tevin Jenkins at least plays 12, 13 games out of the year.
Yeah. One name I think I want to get your take on. Obviously, they have, because you don't no longer have Eberflus and Shane Waldron around. Gerald Everett's got to be a cut too, right? And to save the $5.5 million with there, because I don't see any reason why you would keep him aboard. They don't even throw a Cole Kmet as it is. So why the fuck are you going to keep him around too and just waste salary cap space? But I think you can find a much cheaper option, a free agent market. But I don't think there's any reason why you keep him around.
Yeah, the Gerald Everett signing didn't bother me at the time because I thought Shane Waldron would find a way to use the 2 tight ends consistently. I don't know if it's because they had such bad issues with their offensive line. I don't know if you saw it, but Caleb Williams evaded 50 sacks this year. He was by far the number 1 quarterback in that category. He also took a shit ton of sacks, so really didn't matter. But yeah, it's going to be. There's no reason for him to stick around, and I want to say he also saves around $4 million if they cut him, off the top of my head. So, yeah, he's definitely a guy that would be on my cut list.
Yeah, he was on my cut list, and it wasn't super surprising, but a little bit over 21% of the snaps he was on the field for this year.
And targets, I mean, nothing. In fact, I want to say that I saw, and I could be misspeaking here, but I think that I saw a stat that Cole Kmet only had 32 targets after the Jacksonville Jaguars game. So they just were not using the tight ends at all.
Yeah, that's
and Peter's not here, but I mean, Cole Kmet is number one tight end in the NFL. So
I think you might saw somewhere in the comments where he's, I'm pretty sure he just shit right now when you said that. So sorry, feel better, Peter. Yeah,
triggered.
All right, last thing on the offensive side, Rob, Keenan Allen, are they going to extend him an offer or not?
They might try to extend him an offer, but he ain't coming back.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm Keenan Allen, and I love Keenan Allen, why? Why are you coming back to the Chicago Bears? Go get yourself a chance at a ring. Go sign with the Chiefs. I mean, he's made enough money now. What does he care about money? Like, go put yourself in a position to win. Go play for the Ravens. Do something like that.
Yeah. All right, to the defensive side now. Is there anyone that you think is going to be a cap casualty? I haven't seen they got the space, but that would probably be just like a normal roster cut, not necessarily a cap casualty.
There really isn't anyone big, right? Tremaine Edmonds would be the guy people would think about, but his contract doesn't really allow him to be cut this year in a team-friendly way, unless I think if they move on from him as a post-June 1 cut, it bumps it up to around $7 million in salary cap savings. But do you need it? I don't really think you do. So he'll probably be here for at least one more year. He is on a team-friendly cut situation in 2026. So this will probably be his last year here in Chicago, unless whoever they bring in, he's in a situation where he plays much better than he has the last 2 years. Just based off his salary, he's just not doing enough, right? He's basically an average linebacker in the NFL, and that's not what we come to expect from a first-round pick that you signed to $18+ million a year. So no one really stands out. I mean, Montez Sweat's going to be here. Jervon Dexter's going to be here. I doubt they're going to cut Zach Pickens too early in his rookie contract. They just signed Jalen Johnson. Thank God. Tyreek Stevenson's not getting cut. He's, for anyone who's blaming him for the entire season, he wasn't the reason that the Bears shit the bed. I mean, look, he caused a lot of problems. He did cost them a win, I would say, but he didn't cost them the entire season. So he's on a rookie deal. He's coming back. Terrell Smith coming back. Kevin Byard, I believe, is still on a team-friendly deal. He signed a 3-year deal.
Yeah, he's got 1 year left. $8.5 million for him.
Yeah, Jaquan Brisker on his rookie deal. He's coming back. That said, you have to replace Brisker. You have to have someone in place to take that position from him because he missed more than half the season. He's had concussion injuries for quite some time. There's rumors that he could have came back. There's rumors that he's one of the guys that wasn't doing enough week to week in the practice. But I will say he had a great season starting this year. So if that's his not doing enough in practice, I'd love to see how he handles a season if he does practice well.
Yeah, that's going to be my next question to you. Obviously, Brisker and Gordon are going to be up at the same time. Probably with Jalen Johnson's contract, you can't extend both of them. So just based on what you're saying, Gordon's the most likely to be offered a contract.
Kyler Gordon is a top 3 nickel corner in the league, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm keeping him. Him and Jalen Johnson make this defensive backfield elite, and all you need is a solid CB2. We see it with Tyreek Stevenson. He makes mistakes, but he also can make some impact plays. Those two guys, in my opinion, are worth more. I know safety is considered a more important position, but Brisker is also more of a strong safety than free safety. I think free safety is more important than strong safety. Although their run game sucked after both Billings and Brisker went down, so they got to find an in-the-box safety, which I think is a lot easier to replace though than a free safety. So yeah, Kyler Gordon for me and Jalen Johnson all the way.
Cool. My last question for you for this is we need more help on the complete offensive line. And then we need obviously someone opposite Montez Sweat. Where do you think those positions of need get addressed? Is it going to be obviously it's a mix, but will they target one area more in free agency or in the draft?
So far, I would probably lean defensive end in the first round. I'm not sold. There's no Joe Alt in this draft, right? Banks is probably your top left tackle prospect right now out of Texas, but the problem is that we don't know his measurables yet. He could also be a little bit on the shorter side, like Will Campbell, so like who looks more like a guard. I still see Campbell as a tackle, but if he ends up having arms shorter than 33 inches, then you're moving it inside. It's like a Peter Skoronski type situation. That said, they need an interior lineman. I just don't know if it's worth taking one at 10. But if you do take a guy like that who could play one, either position and he has some versatility to him, then that's fine. I'll say right now though, and here's the thing. I was obsessed with Jared Verse. Like I loved Jared Verse last year. He was my top defensive end forever. A lot of people had him as the top guy and then went away from him through the draft process. As soon as that started around February, March, I never moved him. He was my number one prospect at the defensive end position the whole time. He had a great season, which makes me feel better about my analyses. He would still be the top defensive end in this draft for me, but Abdul Carter out of Penn State would be number 2. He's probably my number 1 prospect in this draft right now.
He's a beast.
Yeah, Micah Parsons. And people put the Micah Parsons on there because it's Penn State, right? But
yeah,
I feel like you can line him up whether it's a defensive end, it's outside linebacker, the guy's just going to make noise. He knows how to just get to the quarterback. Watching him play in that Notre Dame game was amazingly fun. And he almost didn't even play in that game, which is even crazier. He'd probably be my number 1 prospect in this draft. I'm, again, very early into it, but he's probably my number 1. I was hoping they had a chance at him. There's no way he's going to fall to 10. No way at all. So if you don't address it in the first round this year, you have to hit it heavy in free agency. So I think what Ryan Poles is going to do, to just kind of make this long story short, he's going to address both interior offensive line and defensive end in free agency to the point where he feels comfortable enough to go whatever direction falls to him in the first round of the 2025 draft.
I mean, you got 3 high draft picks, so you got to make sure you hit at least 2 of them.
You got to hit all 3. You got.
Well, I know, but that's the odds of hitting all 3 top draft picks.
I understand, but you got, and it doesn't mean they have to hit this year, but they have to hit by the time that all 3 of them need to be extended, right? That's the thing. They say to get it to hit in the NFL, it means you get a second contract with the team that you're with. He needs to get to that point. We saw Gervon Dexter take that huge jump this year. I love Gervon Dexter. I love watching his film. He doesn't get enough credit for what he does. That guy is a beast. And I think people forget that going into college, coming out of high school, he was the number 1 defensive tackle above Jalen Carter. He played for a team that didn't emphasize the pass rush in Florida State. He didn't have he was raw too. He didn't have a lot of experience like Jalen Carter did. I know Jalen Carter is a beast. I love Gervon Dexter, and I think he could be very, very similar player for the Chicago Bears going forward.
All right, so that's going to wrap up our Bears talk. Rob, we want to thank you so much for jumping on last minute. We really appreciate it. Go ahead, Dougie.
I'm sorry. I just have one more cut that I got to cut, and I have to cut this guy. Santos has got to go. He has got to go. If we can't rely on a guy that can kick NFL size field goals, we can't have a guy on a team. He's got to go. We got to replace him. Find somebody new. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you, Rob.
No, I completely agree with you on that. And here's a perfect example. If you can't trust your kicker to kick a 57-yard field goal attempt and you have to go for it on 4th down and long, that tells you all you need to know about that kicker. He's very accurate within, the 40 and closer range, but his low trajectory has obviously become a thing within the NFL with multiple blocks this season. And you look at what Dallas has, we talk about how bad Dallas is, but you look at what they have in Aubrey as a kicker. I love Torrey Taylor as a 4th-round pick punter, putting that out there. But I'm sorry, if you have a weapon like Brandon Aubrey, the guy makes 60-yard field goals look like it's nothing.
Yep. So
So,
I had to get
all right. Before you let you go, what do you want to plug?
I got nothing to plug really. One of the partnerships that we got with us over at Hallis Huddle is the FOCO brand. So if you want to go over there and check out FOCO, they have some cool limited edition bobbleheads going on right now. We've been promoting those. There's a Walter Payton one out there. I don't know if it's still available. It was a pre-sale, only 144 units available. There was a Roma Dunze one that was really cool too. And then they just released last week a Brian Urlacher bobblehead. But they have some really cool bobbleheads, so I would definitely check that out. And then obviously for any reading people out there, I know reading isn't a thing anymore. Head on over to Bear Goggles On, and you can check out all my content over on that site as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rob, for joining us. And we'll have to have you back closer to the draft so we can do a draft preview with you and Justin.
Yeah, Justin and I haven't been doing the Hallis Huddle podcast as much recently. We both have had some off the field issues going on with life. So it's been fun, and I appreciate you guys reaching out.
All right. Talk to you soon, Rob. Take care.
Thanks, Rob.
Have a good one, guys.
All right. That was Rob Schwartz Jr., our resident Bears expert that we always bring on. And we want to thank him again for coming on short notice to fill in for a sick baloney. But we got to get to some fun stuff right now. And we're going to bring it back. It's Marry, Fuck, Kill. Always a good time. And I brought back the movies again. But I did different actors this time. So I put this together on short notice, so don't at me. All right. Did this
Adam.
quick. All right. Pop you guys up here. All right. First, Marry, Fuck, Kill is Daniel Day-Lewis. Marry, Fuck, Kill. Lincoln, There Will Be Blood, and Gangs of New York.
How are you gonna kill Lincoln again?
Yeah, just too soon. Too soon on that.
All right.
It's been 170 years. I don't think it's too soon.
Yeah. All right. I'll go first. I'm going to marry Gangs of New York. I am going to kill Lincoln. God, it like you can't even get it out. And I will fuck There Will Be Blood.
So here's a problem over here. I love Gangs of New York. It's one of my favorite movies. I haven't not watched Lincoln, and I have not watched There Will Be Blood.
What?
So, no, I haven't watched either one of those. I know the premise of Lincoln. Obviously, you just called it. He got killed. He was a president of some sorts. He's on a penny, but
and a fiver.
And a fiver, yes. But I will say I'm gonna marry Gangs of New York. I'm probably gonna fuck Lincoln, and then There Will Be Blood. I'm just gonna kill because, I've never seen it. So, but I'm gonna watch it. I heard Lincoln was a good movie, and I do like Daniel Day-Lewis. He's a great actor. I just haven't got a chance to see Lincoln or There Will Be Blood.
He won an Oscar for Lincoln.
Yeah, I know. I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. Johnny, mine is the same as yours. Marrying Gangs of New York. I absolutely love that movie. It's fucking great movie with Scorsese, obviously. Mm-hmm. I am fucking Lincoln, and I'm killing There Will Be Blood. That's it. I didn't mind There Will Be Blood. I thought it was a very, very good movie. The ending just kind of seemed flat to me. So that's my take. But I thought it was very good. I thought he played that character very well. And he's, old school method actor where I think when he was in Lincoln, he walked around as Lincoln for like months and, just got into character.
Yeah. I think Peter brings up a good comment here. As far as rewatchable, I wouldn't go back and rewatch Lincoln.
Yeah. It's like one of those like one-time movies. All right. Go to the next one, guys. I got 6 here, so it shouldn't take too long, but have some fun with it. Next up is Brad Pitt. Marry, Fuck, Kill, Fight Club, Moneyball, Inglourious Bastards.
Here we go. That's what I like here.
I'm marrying Inglourious Bastards. That movie was one of the best movies that I've seen in the theaters. on the opening night. Do not regret that. I'm going to kill Moneyball just because I can't not have Fight Club in my life. So I'm fucking Fight Club and killing Moneyball. That's a tough one, though. That's a really good one.
I'm the same. I love Inglourious Bastards. I'm gonna marry. I could watch it anytime. It's such a rewatchable movie, and there's nothing wrong with Moneyball as well too. I've seen Moneyball a couple times, and it's a great movie. But yeah, when it comes to Fight Club, I mean, I'm fucking the shit out of it. I mean, I love Fight Club. when that thing came out, it was such a great movie.
You pop in a blue chew, Johnny, and just keep fucking Fight Club.
Well, Fight Club came out a long time ago, so I mean, you know, but yeah, I mean, you know, just the great acting that they had over there, just the whole premise, the whole storyline about Fight Club, a lot of, you know, obviously every movie's going to make you think, but this one really made you like think about you know, a lot of things, and I just thought that Fight Club was done really well. So yeah, I would kill Moneyball.
Yeah, I'm the same as Johnny. With Inglourious Bastards, you know, obviously what he does at the towards the end of the movie where it's like, see, correcto.
Yeah. Bingo.
Yeah, and the killing Nazis. Like just the voice that he does with it, it's one of the great. Obviously, Tarantino did a great job with it. Fight Club, yeah, I'm fucking Fight Club. I think that's probably one of the best twists at the end of the movie that I've seen. You know, like that's like up there with like, you know, Sixth Sense, you know, twist. That's a great movie. And then Moneyball, you know, like it's one of those things, Dougie, like you said with Lincoln. Mm-hmm. You watch it once, and then I appreciate the memes that come out of it. You know, with Jonah Hill, like, you know, this is this, but his defect is, you're like, those are great memes. But that's the only thing that I really remember from that movie is that. So yeah, killing Moneyball.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Tom Cruise, Marry Fuck Kill, Mission Impossible, A Few Good Men, Top Gun.
I think I gotta go. I'm gonna marry Top Gun. I'm gonna fuck Mission Impossible and kill A Few Good Men.
God damn it, we're getting banned now. Dougie's killing, making it A Few Good Men. Like, we're gonna get flagged for violence now from YouTube's AI.
They're just perfect.
I don't like any of these movies. I'm gonna kill all of them. I'm not marrying them. I'm not committing or fucking or anything like that. I'm killing all three of them. I'm not a big Tom Cruise fan at all.
Okay. All right. It would be funny if one of you guys said I'm fucking A Few Good Men, but
yeah.
I guess I kind of did.
Yeah, right.
But I didn't say it that way.
All right. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna marry Mission Impossible. I thought the first one was really well done. They probably could have just ended it at that. They didn't need 10 sequels, whatever it's up to now.
Yeah.
They didn't need that many. I'm gonna fuck Top Gun, and yeah, I'm with Dougie. I'm killing it's a good movie, but for me, I think a lot of with Few Good Men, it drags out a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Peter says, "Shock Jason didn't put Eyes Wide Shut." I know. You know what, Peter? I thought about it. It was in consideration.
Jerry Maguire.
Who wouldn't want to fuck it? Yeah, I know. It's a good point. Good point taken. See, we have a few. I'm fucking A Few Good Men. Atta boys. Next up here, Jim Carrey, Marry Fuck Kill, Me Myself Irene, Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura.
Oh man,
this might be the hardest one out of the.
Johnny, you want to go first?
Not really, because I needed a little bit of time on this one because I like all three movies. I think Me, Myself, and Irene is a very underrated movie. If nobody didn't see that one, it's such an underrated movie. It's so funny.
Yeah, listen up, fuckface.
Yeah.
What, I wasn't enough for you?
It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna marry I'm gonna marry Me, Myself, and Irene. I really do like that movie. I think I'm gonna fuck Dumb and Dumber just because there's so much good one-liners and just everything was so funny when I first saw it. I'm probably have to kill Ace Ventura as much as that was his like coming out movie and all that, or that pretty much put him on the map. And then that also did have a lot of one-liners as well too, and I thought it was funny. There was just something about Me, Myself, and Irene that I just thought was just a lot funnier than Ace Ventura.
Okay. I'm gonna marry Dumb and Dumber. I feel like every time I watch that movie, and I've watched it so many different times, there's like a new something you catch. Like there's always some like little like something. And I've met the gas man, the guy that they kill with the peppers. I've met him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really cool dude. Really cool dude. Just happened organically after a hockey game. I am going to fuck Ace Ventura, and unfortunately going to have to kill Me, Myself, and Irene.
Oh, murder suicide.
Yes, right. Damn it. Ace Ventura. I mean, dude, just talking out of your butt back in the day, like at school, like that was like, like let me ask you a question, like that.
Do you have some banana perhaps?
Right. I mean, yeah.
Asshole amigo.
Right. And then the sliding door with the.
Hey, you had a nice young hot Courtney Cox in that one too.
Very much so.
All right, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna marry Me, Myself, and Irene. I think that just because his kids too, they really make that movie. In my opinion, his three illegitimate children who are super geniuses. But obviously the Farrelly brothers are just comedic geniuses especially for that era. So I'm marrying Me, Myself, Irene. I'm gonna fuck Dumb and Dumber, and I'm killing Ace Ventura. As much as I love it, I just think the other two had more. For me personally, they had more stuff I would quote on a regular basis than Ace Ventura, which was I still love that movie a lot. I will say, funny story though. My dad took me to go see Ace Ventura, and I was like 11 years old when it came out, and he was so fucking uncomfortable because of all like the adult like gross humor and stuff like that. That's not like my dad at all. Yeah. And I'm sitting there laughing my ass off, with everything, especially when opening scene, she's like, "Would you like me to take your pants off, Mr. Ventura?" And he's, going like that. My dad, he was so fucking uncomfortable with sitting there with his 11-year-old kid at Ford City Theater watching this. Like, good times. All right, next up, we got Matt Damon. Fuck, marry, kill. Rounders, Born Identity, Good Will Hunting.
Oh man. I'm going to marry Rounders. Rounders is a movie that like I could watch over and over and over and over again. Amazing movie. I'm going to fuck Born Identity. Because that first one out of the gates was amazing. That was awesome. Even the second one was good too. Good Will Hunting. Yeah, I mean it's another quality movie, but I'm killing it.
I am going to I'm gonna fuck Good Will Hunting just because it's such a great movie. How do you like them apples? I just thought that it was well done. The story, everything about it. Rounders, another great movie as well too. Poker. I mean, who doesn't love poker?
Pay that man his money.
Yeah, pay John Malkovich. Yeah, he was in that movie. So I would say I would marry Rounders. And as much as the Born Identity, I did watch the Born Identity before. I would say that probably would be my least one that I would say. So I probably would kill the Born Identity.
Okay. I'm going to kill Goodwill Hunting. It's a great movie, but not one that I need to rewatch it when it's on. I'm gonna fuck Rounders and I'm gonna marry Bourne Identity. I thought when the Bourne Identity came out, like I thought this could be like a good like Bond like alternative, spy series. So I thought, and I love those Bond movies, so that just obviously made me gravitate towards it, especially since it was kind of unique where he doesn't remember shit. So
I've never watched any Bond movie at all.
Really?
Yeah,
not even the old Connery ones. I'm shocked.
No Sean Connery ones. I've never seen any single one of them. It just does not interest me. But somebody could change my mind. Somebody say start with this one or what. But I'll watch it. But where are you
gonna find a movie where one of the main stars in it is Octopussy?
It's called.
They had pretty cool names. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, but
Pussy Galore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, not Octopussy. Pussy Galore. That was it. Sorry. Pussy Galore. Yeah. So that's mine. Marry, fuck, kill on that one. All right, we got one last one for you guys.
All right.
It's Harrison Ford, but it's the Indiana Jones special. Marry, fuck, kill. Last Crusade, Temple of Doom, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Ooh. Can I kill the one that I fell asleep at? I know. I know it's not on here. I'm going to marry Raiders, fuck Temple of Doom, and kill Crusade.
Okay.
I never watched any of these movies.
God damn it.
I never watched it. I was like, I know they're good movies. I get that. I just never had the interest of watching any of them. So I don't know.
All right.
No comment, I guess.
All right. I am going to marry Last Crusade. That's my favorite of the three. I'm going to kill Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I'm fucking Temple of Doom. Julie says, which is the one with the cup? That's the one. That's Last Crusade. That's you have chosen poorly. Thank you, Alex. Thank you. Jenna, you gotta watch Indiana Jones. You gotta watch the trilogy, man. You don't have to watch the newer stuff, but you gotta go back and watch. That's Spielberg, man.
I did watch the newer stuff, but I mean, I just didn't watch the. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't interest me. Joey has a good comment. Go back to Joey's. I was watching Blood In and Blood Out, not Indiana Jones. Those are the movies I was watching back in the day.
Dude, yeah. That new one was so bad at the beginning, man. And I was like running on such low sleep. You guys were sitting right in front of me in the movie theater, and I was like the row behind, and I just went lights out for the entire thing. And then as soon as the lights come on, I wake up and like you guys turn around, and I think it was either Johnny or Peter just like points at me and they were like, "Oh, you were sleeping." I was like, "Sure the fuck was."
Yep. So that's Marry, Fuck, Kill Movie Edition Volume 2.
That was good.
I'll bring it back in a few months. We'll do some other good stuff here. All right, before we get to our Bums and MVPs, just a quick little ad for us. Right now at Green Valley Wine and Spirits, through the entire end of the month, until the end of the month, just mention the Bums, and you could get 10% any of our store picks. 10% off any of our store picks. So we still have our newest Maker's Mark, which has been our best seller by far. But if you still need a re-up on the classic Knob Creek ones, or if you haven't tried the Nulu, which is our toasted wheated, but yeah, 10% off until the end of the month. Go in there, 344 Commons Drive, Bolingbrook, Illinois. Tell them the Bum sent you, and you get 10% off any of our bottles. So thank you to Green Valley for letting us run that promo for the month. So with that, I think it's time to bum some people, guys.
I think he's a bum. I think he's an absolute bum.
You call me a bum? My man, I take that with pride, with honor, that I'm a bum. I'm the king of the bums, baby.
Because you're training like a damn bum, you know that? Bum.
a bum.
All right, let's get to our. Oh, we have a missing Johnny.
Oh,
Let's get to our listener bums and MVBs. First off, King Ass MVB TGL's debut. That's the Tiger and Rory simulator golf league. I had to look that up because I actually had to text Peter because I had no idea what the fuck TGL was. But it's an indoor golf simulator league. So they debuted, and apparently Tiger's team goes tomorrow. So bum of the week: Packers Eagles for being boring and ruining my bets. Yeah, man, a lot of those games this weekend were just booty, man. Like,
yeah.
None of them really got me excited. I mean, the end of the Tampa Bay Washington game was exciting, but for other than that, though, it was just a lot of just mediocre, average football for Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was brutal.
I got pretty excited when Bo Nix went down the field right away, and I'm like, oh man, this thing is going to be a shootout.
Yeah,
I was really pumped, man. And then all of a sudden, it just. I mean, even at the half, 7-10, it should have been 10-10 with the missed field goal. But
well, as of right now, it is 27-9. Vikings are getting their ass kicked. So another non-competitive game there.
So Sam Darnold will go to the Raiders then.
Did Jefferson at least get a touchdown, or did there was a touchdown?
Good question, Johnny.
Anybody out there that could tell us?
It was T.J. Hawkinson.
Of course. You know, that was another thing too. A lot of the touch anytime touchdown scores were like no name people.
Dude, they were like
fucking plus. Yeah, there was like plus like 8,000 on all of them.
Yeah, first touchdown of the season.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Road Dog MVB Arjun for his Stone Cold mastery of the ring game. Dude, I can't play that game for shit, man. I don't know if you guys ever tried it though. You got to swing the ring under the hook.
Yeah,
I suck at that game, man. If that's like gun to my head, bye everyone. Bum of the week: Bears front office for clown car vibes. The coaching search is giving everyone clown car vibes. They don't know what they're doing. They're gonna fuck it up. They always do. That's the Bears' MO. So, yeah. Baloney, bum of the week: norovirus. This bitch ain't no joke. Is no joke. MVP Julie for taking care of two very sick kids, Scarlett and myself. Yeah, I could imagine, I can just imagine Peter being sick and be like, Julie, I need a blanket.
I could see Peter with like a bell, just ringing a bell. But yeah, Julie, you're awesome. Nobody likes that job, especially with two people.
MVP number 2, norovirus, lost 8 pounds since Saturday. Pooping all the fat out means skinny baloney summer 2025. Hey, there's always a rainbow on the other end, right? So
he's back.
Yeah,
he's back, baby.
Just make sure you keep it. That's the thing. You got to keep it off now. Otherwise, you get that first meal back, and you have like some tacos or something, and then boom, that 2 tacos puts on 10 pounds automatically. Yeah. It's crazy how your body works.
Metabolism.
All right, next up here, Jeff Bartlett, bum, the landlord who owns the Hog Wild and Midlothian building for not renewing their lease. That place was good, man. My brother lives right around the corner from that, and we'll go by his house. They order from there all the time. Really, really good. Don't get to have it that often, only when I go to my brother's, but kind of sad that they're closing.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. You had them before, Doug?
Yeah. Pork chop sandwich, baby. Yeah. Hopefully, hopefully they'll find a new spot. I know that they got a second location, but hopefully they find something in that area and appease those people. That sucks.
Yeah. Lucky Spag, MVB, the bums and Ramova for putting on a great watch party, and my bum is this damn cold weather for people who have to work outside it. Yeah, it was really cold today, Dougie. I hope you bundled up out there.
Yeah, I did all right. I fared okay.
All right. But yes, thank you for coming through Friday. Colonel Bourbon, MVB, the bums, and for the great Friday night at the Ramova. Thank you, Joseph. And it's bum of the week, the Bears for interviewing way too many candidates. Yeah, we agree. Too many. You can't just trim the fat, man. Yeah. You really need to interview the Giants offensive coordinator. Yeah. Stupid. Joey P, MVB, everyone in attendance for the Blackhawks watch party. We couldn't have done it without all your love. Yes, heart hands there. 2, the Ramova Theater staff for their top-notch hospitality. As I mentioned before, they all killed it. So thank you to Chris, staff, and everyone else. Bum of the week. Anyone who thinks Mike McCarthy for the Bears is a good idea? I agree. I don't want it. No one. I don't. I think there may be a few people. I think Greg Gabriel wants it, but I don't think reasonable Bears fans want it. Yumper MVB Gordo for kicking that surgery's ass. Yes, Gordo. He made it. He's good. He's got a new ticker. I don't know. I would say new ticker, but repaired, upgraded ticker. Part of the Zipper Club now. So still recovering in ICU, I believe. So, but he was in the pod earlier and couldn't wait to watch. So Gordo, we're happy that you made it, and hopefully we'll be hoovering it in no time.
Yeah, and if you think anything's changed with Gordo, he's still that stir the pot asshole that he's always been. Surgery changed nothing. He's texted me like 3 times since the podcast has started. First time was he told me that I had a booger in my nose, and I told him that's my tribute to you, like John Stockton waving to his kids. He's like texting me shit, you know. He's just
he looked death in the face and said, "Fuck it, I'm coming out the other end." Bigger, meaner, more unfiltered.
I'm just gonna fuck with people. So yeah, no.
And obviously, bum is the weather. Yeah, it's cold, but it's Chicago in January, so we're used to it. And finally, Mailman Jack, bum of the week. The Bears' never-ending virtual coach interviews. Good God, yeah, bad. MVB, thick guys committed to wearing shorts today. Respect. Hey, Dougie, I made a comment. You wore shorts Friday night to the watch party when it was snowing out, and you're just like, fuck it. Fuck pants.
I mean, dude, honestly, my rule is like, okay, obviously at work, I'm gonna wear pants because I'm outside, you know, the whole time. But my rule is kind of like, dude, if I'm only gonna be outside for like 5 to 10 minutes on a walk to in and out of a place, I can deal with the cold on my legs. I'd rather be comfortable inside, you know, like I don't know, just not a pants guy. Just not my thing.
I saw a couple guys walking their shorts downtown. I mean, I'm like, it's to me, it was really cold. Like, and especially in the morning, it was like 11 degrees outside. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right, Dougie, kick us off for our bums and MVBs.
All right, MVBs. The 2 Joey P's, Colonel Bourbon and our Joey P for giving out those tickets. You guys didn't have to do that. You guys heard that I was doing it, and then you guys jumped on board, and we really appreciate that. It's awesome of you guys. You could be selling those tickets. You could be giving them away to friends and family, but instead you're helping us grow our brand, and I appreciate that. That is amazing. You guys are my MVBs. My second MVB is going to be Gordo's sister. Gordo's sister updated me the entire time. As soon as she got an update from the doctors or nursing staff, she texted me. She was talking with me the whole time. I've never met her before a day in my life. I finally talked to her the first time, like literally about 30 minutes before he was going in. And I just want to thank her because there's a lot of people that love Gordo on this stupid little website. And she was not leaving us in suspense. So we were able to talk to me and Joey P and you know, keep everybody updated about our guy Gordo.
Yeah, I was like, when you were getting feed the insider info, I was like, what do you got, like the live feed cam going on or something?
Yeah, I felt like I was getting like the ticker of every hour what's going on with Gordo. But yeah, I mean, you know, we all, you know, care for Gordo and you know, we appreciate, you know, obviously his sister's sending out updates to you guys. So yeah, that was you know, very, very nice.
Yeah, Jason just texted though, and he just goes, "What are you talking to the nurses or something?"
Oh, maybe you're there at the hospital posted up, you know, like.
Yeah. No, I'm planning on going to see Gordo tomorrow, so I'm gonna head over there and check him out.
Awesome.
So that wraps up my MVBs. My bum. This is a long time coming. This is a guy on the Chicago Blackhawks that deserves everything he's about to hear from me. Seth Jones. Seth Jones, or as me and Joey P call him, Sloth Jones. He is one of the slowest defensemen on this team. He is the highest paid player on the Blackhawks. He's getting paid $9.5 million till 2028. So not only is he the highest paid Blackhawk, but he's going to continue to be the highest paid back. Oh my God, I'm swinging right now. Paid Blackhawk Every time he's on the ice, he's constantly screening our goalie and everything like that. He's flat-footed all the time. He is just a sight for sore eyes for anybody that actually likes defensive hockey. Let me look at tonight. Tonight, Blackhawks lose 5-2.
Oof.
And Seth Jones was -4, meaning he was on the ice for 4 of the 5 goals defending. That's our top paid guy. The guy they need it's at the point where nobody's going to pick up this contract. It's one of the worst contracts.
He's untradeable right now.
He's untradeable. It's one of the worst contracts. Probably it might go down as one of the worst contracts in Blackhawk history. Like, I can't even think of something that's even this worse. And it's not Kyle Davison's fault. He didn't sign the contract. This is a Bowman deal. But yeah, Seth Jones, you are a bum.
Definition of a bum.
A bum, yeah.
All right, Johnny, you're up next.
All right. Well, I do have a MVP. Actually, I have 2 MVPs, and then I have a what a bum. But I'm gonna say my first MVP here is Joey P. Joey P came in the clutch, helped Missy out on something that happened last week on Wednesday. Came to the rescue. So, like I said, I appreciate Joey always being there for anybody. He's that guy. He's just such a good guy. So appreciate that for helping out Missy when she needed it. So thank you on that. And then my second MVP is Saquon Barkley. Class act. You know, he could have scored a touchdown. He could have been, you know, but the Eagles were kicking their ass and stuff like the Packers' ass, but this is going to segue to my my what a bum, because it's also Barkley, because I had him on my bets. All I just needed was a fucking touchdown, and I could have won $100. Fuck the, you know, like, I'm not gonna say fuck the Packers, but, you know, screw them. Like, you should just went to go and, you know, score the touchdown and stuff like that. You know, I mean, it's just, I don't know. Like, I understand why. And I know, like, you know, teams do that. They're respectful, and I get it. Nobody really cares about bets, but, you know, I could have won $100. So
nah, dude,
it is what it is. All my bets were all off, and, you know, but speaking of that Packers and that, that Eagles game, Jason, you played this video.
After reviewing the play, the runner was short of the goal line. They got one more yard though. They're close. Yeah, but they're not in. It's not a touchdown. Yeah. So you don't jerk off, come in the air. Okay, well, don't call her a dumb cunt. She's an ugly dumb cunt. Cool. After the third quarter. Yup.
You know, I get the whole thing, like, you know, with ranting about, you know, your rivals and all that. You know, obviously we always talk about, you know, screw the Packers, fuck the Packers, whatever. But it's out of like to me, I feel it's like a friendly rivalry. You know, you don't have to take it that seriously to a point where you're going after a girl like that, let alone calling her all those names. It's just a game. You should not be doing that whatsoever. And I know Philadelphia Eagles fans, you know, they can be that, they could be this, I guess, the scumbags of the NFL when it comes to their fans, but not all of them are like that. I don't want to, I want to put them in a category where like they're all like that, because I would say every fan base has their, you know, people that take it a little bit too far, you know, and I just think that, you know, going to this route and saying all these names, you know, to this lady and all that, I think it was inappropriate. I think it was wrong. And I just think that it was just, you know, I mean, it was uncalled for, you know. I mean, none of these guys that were, you know, his friends or anything like that, they were seemed like they were trying to calm him down, but they really weren't. They really weren't stopping anything. They were just like, kind of like, yeah. I just think that there was ways you could have calmed that guy down, and it should have never been to that point. I heard this guy got doxxed. This guy actually got doxxed. Said where he works on and all that. So, I mean, this guy, for acting the way he did, I just thought it was completely wrong. It was completely uncalled for. And like I said, there's a time and place to kind of fuck around, joke around. I get that, you want to be that friendly fire and stuff like that. At the end of the day, it's just a fucking game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't go to that point. So, I would say, yeah, I just think that, it's to the point where, it shouldn't went that far. And I think that guy's a bum. Yeah.
Not only did he get doxxed, but the funny thing is the ironic thing is he works for a DEI company. So he's getting fired. And he most likely will get banned from Eagles games, if not all NFL games for that, because they always have like their code of conduct or whatever, what they say before games with the NFL. So yeah, he's most likely getting banned and probably going to be on unemployment pretty soon. So yeah. Good thing for that guy, right? Yeah. Fuck him. Yeah. All right. I'm taking us home. My bum of the week is Tampa Bay, because them losing that game yesterday subjected us to another week of Jaden Daniels dick sucking, especially from Chris Collinsworth and all the fucking media. I don't need all that shit. I don't want to fucking hear it. I hope Detroit puts an end to it next week. As much as I want them to lose so we can hire Ben Johnson, I don't need Jaden Daniels going to the fucking NFC Championship game on my fucking feeds and media and radio and all that shit. Like, Tampa Bay's defense dropped the ball big time yesterday. And not only that, because their defense sucks so bad, they lost me a few parlays, and Baker Mayfield couldn't get at least 200 yards passing. So all around shit performance by their defense, letting the Commanders and Daniels do all that shit. So I don't want to hear any more Jaden Daniels fucking talk. He's going to get Rookie of the Year. Yeah. And I don't need he's MVP, and shit like MVP.
Yeah, they brought that up at the end of the game, and the other I can't remember who it was. The other dude shot him down. He was like, "Well, maybe Rookie of the Year, but let's pump the brakes on the MVP."
Yeah. So bum of the week, Tampa Bay, and then finally my MVP. We said it before, beginning of the show. It's the Ramova. It's Chris. There's the everyone back of house, and then everyone front of house. The staff, the wait servers, the bartenders, everyone who helped us put on a great event on Friday. We appreciate it. We look forward to working with the Ramova in the future. But just thank you to everyone at the Ramova, and thank you to everyone who came out. That was a really, really fun time on Friday. So that's everything, guys. Like I said, we got our tournament of bums going on all this week, so make sure you keep an eye out for the polls. Like it, retweet it. Obviously vote, so helps get some more visibility on the algorithm. But that's our show. I want to thank our special guest, Rob Schwartz Jr., for filling in for a sick baloney for all of our Bears talk, and hopefully he'll be back soon. He'll be back next Monday, and he won't have the poopy pants for another week. But that norovirus ain't no joke. So everyone else, keep warm, don't get sick, stay safe. We'll see you guys soon.
Night, Peter.
See ya.
Bye. I don't have an outro. So wait, no, I do have an outro.
You do have an outro.
Yeah.
Till we get to the outro.
Outro ain't playing. I'm clicking. All right. End the stream.